Justin Rod hit me. His most popular or unpopular take, Colin, I'm going to say that again because I want you to cut this for me. Justin Rod hit me. His most unpopular college football take is Ohio State is not the powerhouse the mainstream media has been pushing on the people. And then there's this whole list of things that honestly I have no clue what he's saying. So I'll just go down the list. If you're listening on podcast, you close your eyes unless you're driving and visualize this with me. So he says, Ohio State is not the powerhouse the mainstream media builds them up to be. So the mainstream media, the mainstream CFB media, I guess, me included, just pure gaslighting you on Ohio State. The mainstream media has done nothing about Ohio State that Ohio State hasn't deserved. To me, he says like natty or bust. They won one in the past decade. So they literally have won one. He said they can't beat their biggest rival. Wrong. They haven't in the past 3 years. Prior to that, they beat them 15 out of 16 in a row. So on that one, he says they can't beat their biggest rival. I just addressed that. He said they can't win an out-of-conference game. I was in South Bend last year, like literally less than a calendar year ago when they beat Notre Dame. What are we talking about? They can't win a playoff game. They just won one in 2020. They've won 3 playoff games in the college football playoff era. They don't play a schedule with more than 2 ranked teams. They'll play at least 3 ranked teams this year, at least 3 ranked. Penn State will be ranked. Michigan will be ranked. They go on the road to Oregon. What are we talking about exactly? I have no clue what he's talking about. If you want to tell me Ryan Day is overhyped, you're going to have to tell me what he's rated. You know, that's our go-to. If someone's overrated, you got to tell us what he's rated. Here's the funny thing to me. These takes about Ohio State being overrated and Ryan Day being overrated, 9/10 of them crumble if a kick comes off a foot differently against Georgia, which is not to make an excuse for Ohio State, even though I'll be accused of it. I say that to simply illustrate how thin the margins are. People speak in absolutes about this stuff, like Ohio State's nowhere close to this or nowhere close to that. If that were the case, they wouldn't have been a made field goal away from beating the University of Georgia in the playoff and themselves going on to body bag TCU instead of Georgia getting the privilege to do it. They're a national contender every year. So media hasn't done that. They've done it. They've got 11 double-digit win seasons. The last 11 years you could win double-digit games. The COVID year's the only reason they don't have 12 in a row because you couldn't play double-digit games that year. In the 12-team college football playoff era, Ohio State would have been in the playoff all 12 years. Do you understand how consistent they've been? How consistent a performer they've been? In the 12-team playoff era, which is since 2014, Ohio State would have been in all 12 years. Bama and Ohio State can say these sorts of things, and then you burn the list. That's the end. They've done the kind of things consistently that only Alabama has done in that time frame. Not even Georgia's done it for that long in that time frame. So did the mainstream media tell me that? Or did I just have the sense to go look it up? Or did I just have enough age on me to where I lived through it? You don't have to be that old. It's only been the last decade or so.